Panchayati Raj. It is also known as rural local self-government. It establishes democracy at grassroots level. It was constitutionalized through 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992. Evolution of Panchayati Raj. Balwant Rai Mehta Committee 1957. Committee recommended scheme of democratic decentralization, which came to be known as Panchayati Raj. Some of the important recommendations made by the committees were: first, establishment of 3-tier system, Gram Panchayat at village level, Panchayat Samiti at block level, Jilla Parishad at district level. They should be linked through a device of indirect elections. Second, village panchayat should have directly elected representatives, whereas Panchayat Samiti and Jilla Parishad should have indirectly elected members. 3. All planning and development activities should be entrusted to these bodies. 4th, Panchayat Samiti should be executive body, while Jilla Parishad should be advisory, coordinating and supervisory body. 5th, District Collector should be chairman of Jilla Parishad. 6th, there should be genuine transfer of power and responsibility. 7th, adequate resources should be transferred to these bodies. 8th, a system should be evolved to effect devolution of authority in future. The recommendations made by this committee were accepted by National Development Council in January 1958. Rajasthan was first to establish Panchayat Raj on 2nd October 1959 in Nagar district. Thereafter, Andhra Pradesh also adopted in 1959. Ashok Mehta Committee 1977. The main recommendations made by this committee to strengthen and revive Panchayat were: first, 3-tier must be replaced with 2-tier system, that is Jilla Parishad and Mandal Panchayat. Second, Panchayati Raj should have compulsory powers of taxation. Third, there must be regular social audit. Fourth, Nyay Panchayat should be kept as a separate bodies and they should be presided by qualified judge. Karnataka, West Bengal and Andhra Pradesh took steps to revitalize Panchayati Raj on the basis of these recommendations. Subsequently, more committees were appointed for strengthening of the panchayats, such as J.V.K. Rao Committee, Hanumanta Rao Committee and L.M. Singhvi Committee. 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992. Significance of this act. This act added new Part 9 to the Indian Constitution as the Panchayats. Article 243 to Article 243O deals with the Panchayats. It also added a new 11th schedule to the Indian Constitution. It contains 29 items. It deals with Article 243G of the Indian Constitution. The provisions of the Act can be grouped as compulsory and voluntary provisions. The Act gave practical shape to Article 40 of the Directive Principles of State Policy. Act also constitutionalized Panchayati Raj and brought it under purview of justiciable part of the Constitution. Silent features of this Act. Act provides for Gram Sabha as a foundation of Panchayati Raj system. Act provides for 3-tier system at village level, at intermediate level, at district level. However, a state having a population not exceeding 20 lakh may not constitute panchayat at intermediate level. All members at all levels shall be elected directly and chairman at intermediate and district levels shall be elected indirectly. Chairman at village level shall be elected as state legislature determines. Act provides reservation for SCs and STs in proportion of their population. Act also provides reservation of not less than 1/3 of total seats for women. Act also authorizes legislature of state to make any provision for reservation of backward classes. Act provides 5-year term at every level of panchayat. Fresh elections to be completed first before expiry of 5 years. Second, in case of dissolution before 6 months from the date of its dissolution. No person shall be disqualified on the grounds that he is less than 25 years if he has attained 21 years. All questions of disqualifications shall be referred to authority as state legislature determines. 11th schedule contains 29 functional items under purview of panchayat. First, agriculture. Second, land improvement, consolidation, land reform and soil conservation. Third, minor irrigation, watershed development, water management. Fourth, animal husbandry, dairying and poultry. Fifth, fisheries. Sixth, social and farm forestry. Seventh, minor forest produce. Eighth, small-scale industries including food processing industry. Ninth, khadi, village and cottage industries. 10th, rural housing. 11th, drinking water. wealth, fuel and fodder. 13. Roads, culverts, bridges, ferries, waterways and other means of communication. 14th. Rural electrification, including distribution of electricity. 15th. Non-conventional energy resources. 16. Poverty alleviation program. 17. Education, primary and secondary. 18. Technical training and vocational education. 19. Adult and non-formal education. 20. Libraries. 21. Cultural activities. 22. Markets and fairs. 23. Health and sanitation. 24th. Family welfare. 25th. Women and child development. 26th. Social welfare. 27th. Welfare of weaker sections, SCs and STs. 28th. Public distribution system. 29th. Maintenance of community assets. Compulsory and voluntary provisions of 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992 or Part 9 of the Constitution. A. Compulsory. First, organization of Gram Sabha. Second, establishment of Panchayat. Third, direct election to all seats in Panchayat. Fourth, indirect elections to chairman at intermediate and district levels. Fifth, minimum age of 25 years for contesting election. Sixth, reservation of seats, both members and chairperson for SCs and STs at all levels. Seventh, reservation of 1/3 seats, both members and chairpersons for women at all levels. Eighth, tenure of 5 years and fresh election within 6 months in case of supersession. Ninth, establishment of State Election Commission. 10th, establishment of State Finance Commission. B. Voluntary provisions. First, giving representation to members of parliament and state legislature. Second, provide reservation for backward classes. Third, granting powers and authority to Panchayat. Fourth, devolution of powers and responsibilities to Panchayat. Fifth, granting financial powers to Panchayat. PESA Act of 1996, Extension Act. Provisions of Part 9 related to panchayats are not applicable to 5th schedule areas. However, Parliament extend these provisions to such areas. Objectives: first, extend provisions of Part 9 to schedule areas with certain modification. Second, to provide self-rule for tribal population. Third, village governance with participatory democracy. Fourth, to evolve suitable administrative framework with traditional practices. Fifth, safeguard and preserve traditions and customs of tribal communities. Sixth, empower panchayat with specific powers conducive to tribal requirements. Seventh, prevent panchayats from assuming powers and authority of lower level of Gram Sabha. Features of the PESA Act. First, state legislation on panchayat in scheduled areas shall be in consonance with community resources. Second, a village shall comprise a community and managing its affairs in accordance with the traditions and customs. Third, every village shall have Gram Sabha. Fourth, every Gram Sabha shall be competent to safeguard and preserve traditions, customs and culture, etc. Fifth, Gram Sabha shall A. Approve plans, programs and projects for social and economic development. B. Be responsible for identification of beneficiaries. Sixth, every panchayat at village level shall obtain certification from Gram Sabha for utilization of funds. Seventh, reservation of seats in scheduled areas shall be in proportion of population of communities for whom it is given under Part 9 of the Constitution. However, reservation for STs shall not be less than 1/2 of total seats. Further, all seats of chairpersons at all levels shall be reserved for scheduled tribes. 8th, state government may nominate scheduled tribes which have no representation in panchayat at intermediate or district level but shall not exceed 1/10 of total members. 9th, Gram Sabha or panchayat shall be consulted before acquisition of land in scheduled areas. 10th, planning and management of minor water bodies in scheduled areas shall be entrusted to the panchayat. 11th, grant of license or mining lease of minor minerals from Gram Sabha or panchayat shall be mandatory. 12th, prior recommendation of Gram Sabha or panchayat shall be mandatory for grant of concession. 13th, state legislature shall ensure that panchayat and Gram Sabha are endowed with A. Power to enforce prohibition or to regulate or restrict any intoxicant. B. Ownership of minor forest produce. C. Powers to prevent alienation of land in scheduled area. D. Power to manage village markets. E. Powers to exercise control over money lending to scheduled tribes. F. Power to control institutions and functionaries in all social sectors. G. Powers to control plant and resources. 14th, state legislature shall contain safeguards to ensure that panchayats at higher level do not assume powers and authority of lower levels. 15th, state legislature shall follow pattern of 6th schedule while designing administration at district levels in scheduled areas. 16. Any provision of any law which is inconsistent with this act shall cease to be in force at expiry of 1 year.